Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
So here I'm getting some.
In POM file, dependency added.
In the POM, yes, I have added dependencies.
Dependency. Okay, TestNG dependency added fine. Okay, then. Okay, come to TestNG. Of services. So what is mouse over on the second line? What is that?
Downloading external resources is disabled.
Disabled. It is your personal laptop or office laptop?
Yeah, it's my personal laptop.
Okay. Just right click on the project, TestNG project.
Okay.
Right click, come to Maven, down. Maven.
Okay.
And update project, click on update. Okay.
Okay.
So, as is. Cannot find the in the console what it is. Cannot find test parameter or cannot find class one. Testing parameters. There is some issue. Coding. DPD something. On the yes. Remove second line.
Second line.
No, comment will work like that. Comment will be like eighth line. Eighth line is there, right? Comment and that someone we have to keep like that.
Okay, so can I remove this, Venkat?
Remove.
Okay.
That's a day, I think blocking it's not downloading enough. Now again, run it now. Yeah, now cannot find login test. Okay, just refresh the project. Test in the top, go to top menus, right? Project.
Okay, here, right?
On
Venkat,
top,
refresh.
not here.
Project.
On top of file edit, there is a project. Like project. So go right, come right.
Okay.
No, right. Project menu is there, right?
This one, Project Explorer or this project?
No, that project. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, clean. Click on the clean. Okay. Just refresh again project. Right click on refresh.
Okay.
Now run it. Type it.
Login test.
The path is of the path is corrupt on testing. What is that? See, your class name is wrong, right? This class name testing class.
Oh,
Okay, fine.
okay. So Venkat, here we removed the second line, right? The document. So without that also, is it fine, Venkat?
That is fine. I think your system DTD is blocked and there is a firewall issue, maybe something is there.
Okay. Okay.
That is fine then. That is not
Okay.
required. That is not a mandatory. Some systems maybe it will mandatory, some system not. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Sir.
Okay, that makes it up. Okay, fine. Yesterday, just we have seen the different annotations up to here. We'll start exclude and include of the test cases. Alright, suppose I have a multiple test cases. I want to, sometimes I don't want to execute all, I want to execute only one. Right, sometimes I want to execute only, exclude only one. That means I don't want to execute one, only one, remaining I want to execute. Include or exclude. That means I want to execute few test cases or I want to skip few test cases. Right, how to do that? Okay, fine. Login. In login, we have 1, 2, 3, 3 test cases. Now, if I execute like this, it will execute all three. Now, suppose in the class tag, we will have a end tag also class. Right. If there is no end tag, we can keep it at last slash. That's it. Or we can also keep it like this. Both are same.
Okay.
Right. Now we will give in between the class tag. There is one more tag will come methods. Methods. Now here we can write. Now I want to include name. What is the name of the text? That means I want to execute only whatever I will write here. Include. That means suppose I want to execute only login test one.
Okay. So in that class, only this method will execute, not all three methods.
You see, it will execute only one.
One. Okay.
Whatever we have included. Suppose I want to skip this test case, remaining I want to execute. You can have multiple. Like this, you can have any number of includes we can write. I want to include 1 and 2. That it will execute 1 and 2. Suppose I don't want to execute 1. Remaining I want to execute. Then exclude. It will exclude only test 1. It will execute remaining 2. 2, 3. We can have any number of excludes.
Okay.
We can have any number of includes or excludes, or we can combination of include and exclude both. We can have any combination we can have. I want to include only one. I want to exclude two. If you add here exclude or not, it is not a matter. But whatever we have included, it will execute only those includes. Okay. Then we can have any number of includes or excludes or include or excludes we can give.
Okay.
Suppose if you give wrong here, right, method name you have given wrong. Now what it will do, it will execute nothing. Okay. Right, you have given wrong test case, it will not execute anything. Okay, fine. By using include and exclude, we can either skip the test cases or execute the test cases.
Okay. So we have to add the end suit for the class, and between that we have to add the method.
Here method name we have to add. What is the method name we want to execute? Right, which method name we have to
add. Okay.
right. By default here also we can add, we can enable or disable. But in the code, if you want to disable permanent, sometimes what will happen? I have automated today. After 1 or 2 months, maybe this functionality is removed. Now I want to remove this permanent. Instead of removing the code, we will just do here by default enabled is true. If we want to disable it, we can disable.
Okay.
Right. Instead of removing the code, we can have enabled false. We can add comments why we are disabling it.
Okay. So if we are adding this enabled is equals to false means, then this test case, this method will not execute, right?
This will not execute.
Okay.
This will not execute permanently.
Okay.
Right. We will not do enable disable from the methods. Only we will do from XML. If you want to disable permanently, then we can disable it enable false. Instead of removing code, it will be tracking later. If you want how many test cases automated, how many are removed, you will have some track. If you remove it after 1 year, you don't have any track how many added, how many removed. Right, why you have removed those test cases. Later it will come why you not automated those test cases. Those questions will arise. Right now you will not have tracking. So we will not remove any test case, just we will disable it and add comments while we are disabling it.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Then priority. Right, priority. Perfect. Suppose I will do this. Suppose if I execute, what is the order of execution? Priority means I first one order of execution. Alright, by default, it is a alphabetical order, it will execute. It will execute in alphabetical order. Suppose we want to just stop. Oh. Suppose if I keep this one as a plugin test question, maybe you may think like this, okay, it is in the same order, so executed is good. Now we will jump to the order 2, 1, 3 like this. Right, what is 1, 2,
1, 3. Okay.
that will execute in alphabetical order. By default, it will execute in alphabetical order. Now I want to control the order. I want to execute same order. Whatever I have written, I want to execute in the same order. Now in the test tag, we will get attributes, brackets, and then we have attributes. One attribute is priority. Default priority is 0. If you don't give anything, all will have 0.
0. Okay.
0 priority. Now I want to change it. Now I want to execute this one as a priority 1. Priority 2. Now priority 3. Right. Now if we execute it.
2, 1, 3. Okay.
Right, it will execute 2, 1, 3. Right, priority wise. One, we have given first priority this one, second, third. If we give here 2, then it will execute here if I give 1, then it will execute first this one based on the priority. Suppose I have given 0 priority here. Right. 0 will get highest priority. First it will execute
Okay.
0,
First. Okay.
then 1, then 3. Right, 0, 1. If any two test cases have same priority, suppose these two have same priority. Right, those two will execute in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order. Okay.
We have same priority, then 1 and 4 have same priority. Alphabetical order it will execute.
Okay.
Suppose if we don't have any priority means that is 0 priority only. Right, if we are giving 0, suppose I am giving not giving any priority. 3 already. Okay, fine. These two have same priority. 0 by default, 0 priority. Now these two again will execute alphabetical order.
Order. Okay.
First 2, then 5. These two have 0. First 0 will execute, then 1. These two have, then again these two will execute in alphabetical order.
Last priority. Okay.
Then 3. We can also have negative priorities. Suppose I have given -1.
It will execute.
It will start lowest priority first.
Okay.
Right, lowest priority is the -1.
-1. Okay.
Then 0. Right, lowest priority execute first. That's it. Simple thing. Lowest priority will execute first.
Execute first. Okay.
Right, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. -2, 3. If we have -2, -3, it will execute -2 first. Lowest priority will execute first. If any two test cases have same priority, those two will execute in alphabetical order. Right, by default, alphabetical order. If we want to control the execution, we can give the priority.
Okay.
Fine then. Then assertions. Right. Basically, why we are automation or right testing means we have to validate the functionality. That means exactly working or not. Test cases also why we are writing automation to test the functionality. To test the functionality, we must have some assertions. At least each test case, at least it must have one assertion. Right. Without assertions, we cannot validate test case. It will always pass. Right. Suppose the test case don't have assertion, it will always pass. There is no use of these test cases. Right. We must have assertions.
Okay. Assertions.
Right. For that, what we will do, we will create simple functionality. A bank. This is the bank means this is developed by developer. Suppose you think this is developed by developer, I want to test it. Right. Public void deposit. deposit. Right. Some integer I will pass some integer. What is the amount I want to deposit? I will take here. Otherwise, I will mute total amount. Right. Deposit means total amount. That's equal to amount. They are the amount whatever we are set. Then public void withdraw. Withdraw amount. Right. What we have to do, we have to remove the amount. Then if you want to get the balance, we'll return the total amount. Suppose if the amount is less than that available balance, if the amount is greater than right available balance, you are withdrawing greater than total amount. Right, then we can throw exception. Throw exception. Right, available balance is less than less than available balance is less than withdraw. And we are throwing checked exception again. We have to throw. Right. Suppose this is the developer by developer. I want to test it the functionality of this. Deposit withdraw. These two functionalities. Now for this we will write a we'll write what we'll write bank test. Right now public void verify withdraw. Verify withdraw. Or first we'll write to deposit. Verify deposit test. I want to make it at the rate test. Right, we can have attribute description. Can have test attribute description. So here we will write what is the deposit verify deposit function. And we can have some description we can give. This is one of attribute description. Then if I want to deposit, first what I have to do, I have to create object for bank. Bank dot. Now I want to deposit. I want to deposit 100 rupees. And now I want to verify whether 100 is deposited correctly or not. Alright, now how we will verify now? We can have a get balance. Will return what is the actual balance of the bank. Now we want to assert these 100 whatever deposited correctly coming or not get balance. Right, for that we have to do assertions. In the TestNG we have a class called assertion. Assertion or assert dot assert class, and these are all static methods. Alright, we can validate equal, we can compare either boolean float, byte, double, right? Here is put. Here we want to integer, right? Asset equals. I want to validate. First we have to be actual and then expected. Actual means we are getting this one actual. What is we are expecting 100? I have deposited 100. Same thing should get retrieve from bank 100 only. Right. If you want to give third argument, we can give third argument to verify balance. Right. Now we can run it. The assertion is the passed. It will show as pass. Suppose I am expecting 101.
Mm.
You know what it will say? Assertion will fail. Assertion error will be expected 101 but found only 100.
Okay.
If there is any functionality issue, it will fail. We must write a assertion.
Okay.
You can write assert equals, or there are a lot of static methods in the assert class. Assert. If you are expecting assert true, if that means true means suppose balance should be greater than 0. But we can have any true condition. We have to assert true means we have to send some condition. We have to write some condition. If it is returning true means it will pass. If it return false, it will fail.
Okay.
Sometimes if you want to accept false also is the negative condition. That you want to, sometimes we can accept a negative condition also. Suppose balance less than 0. What it will give balance is greater than, right? It will become false, right? Balance is not less than 0. Then it will become true condition. That means it will pass negative. We can have either true or false conditions. Side we have to write some logic. It should return some boolean. We have to pass that boolean conditions. You can write some method. Right, it will calculate some validations. It will return boolean. Then we can have accepted true, accept false. Accept equals, accept not equals also there. Or otherwise list contains. Right, if you want anywhere, you have a list and you want to validate the list contains some value. Right, we can pass the list and then what is the value, then message. You can have like this also. Accept not equals. If you want to validate not equal, we can have. Something we have to pass something otherwise. Accept not equal. Equal, mostly we will use equal only. Sometimes we will have false, true or false. Accept null, not null. Accept not null. Right. We want to validate something not equal to null. The object, only object should be null. Right, not null. Bank object should not be null. Right, we can have or should not be null. Right, like this. Suppose if it has a bank object, we have create like this. It will throw error.
Okay.
Either string equal to null, suppose it will fail. you want to validate not null condition, we can call.
Okay.
Except null also we can. I want to validate the object should be null. Right? Mostly we will use except true or except false. These two mostly we will use.
Okay.
There are remaining also there. If you have any, right, we can have list contains not equals not null. That's fine.
So in the equals assertion, if we give the correct value means it's the positive, and if we give the invalid number means it's the negative test case, right, Venkat? In that way we have to verify assert equals. If we are passing once more than
assert equal means we are expecting both should be equal. Actual and expected.
Okay.
That both should be equal, then only it will pass, otherwise fail.
Okay.
Right, we will not pass any wrong here. Yeah, equal means we are expecting both should be equal, that's it.
Equal. Okay.
If functionality not working, it is returning something else, it will fail.
Okay, if it's not equals to means in the functionality wise, then it will fail.
If whatever actual value we are getting, bank is doing some logic on it, it is returning balance. If their logic is wrong, whatever we have deposited, it will give wrong amount, but then it will fail. Okay, your not working your deposit functionality correctly, we will raise a defect.
Okay.
Right. Similarly, we can have verify withdraw. Verify withdraw. That's first I have to deposit if I want to withdraw. I don't have any balance, so I have to put 500 I will deposit. Right now again I will withdraw some amount. Suppose 250 I withdraw. Right, it will throw checked exception. So we have to handle either by try catch or throws. Just declaring throws. Right now after withdraw, I will get the what is the balance of my account. Now I want to assert equal. What is the actual? Actual is this one. How much we are expecting of first deposited 500, then withdraw 250. I am expecting 250. Right now, if I want to run this only this test, if I run right click, it will execute both the test cases. If I want to run only, you can click on this method, only this method. But it is working fine.
So in the TestNG, no use of the main method, Venkat. We are not writing main method anymore.
TestNG we will not write main method. Right, main method is and TestNG both are same to execute the test cases. Okay. Main method is also to execute the code. TestNG also to execute. This is alternative to main.
Main, okay.
Right, we will not include any main here. This is alternative to main. TestNG is. Okay. Right, TestNG also to execute the code. But we have a lot of features in TestNG if you compare to main method. Okay. Right, alternative to there is no, right, we will not include main here. Alternate, both are alternative. Main method is one type of execution, TestNG is one type of execution. Okay. Right, same piece of code we can write in main method also. Right, we can create a main method and we can create execute, but we will not get these are all feature whether it is pass or fail. We will not get these assertions. That we don't have in the main method.
Yes. Okay.
We cannot write test cases like this.
Mm-mm.
Right, we have to write everything in main method. We don't know whether test case will pass or fail.
Mm.
Right. Fine, it
Okay.
like this, we have to accept assertion means test case at least it should have one assertion. More than we can have any number of assertion, at least it should have one.
One assertion.
Right, without having assertion, there is no meaning of writing test cases.
Mm.
Right, we are writing test cases to validate the functionality. You are not
Okay.
doing assertion, there is no meaning.
Mm.
Right, manual testing also same thing. We will go and
Mm.
validate whether correctly coming. We will take the screenshot. Their assertion means manually taking screenshot, proof of.
Mm.
Right, without proof, after some time, if you say I have verified, is there any proof? They will ask.
Mm.
Right, like this is also assertion means proof. Right, this test case is
Mm.
passed. If assertion is failed, it will fail.
Okay.
We must have at least one assertion,
Mm.
and more than we can have any number. Right, fine. Then one more is groups will select of. Then annotation attributes. Right. So far we have seen two annotation attributes. One is description, one is priority.
Mm.
Description, one
Yeah.
is priority.
Mm.
The test. Test. Right. Brackets we have to open, then we will get one is always run. If I keep
Mm.
always run, what will happen? I will tell this later. Otherwise, we don't know this function. One is description we have seen. We can give some
Mm.
description. Right. We can view multiple attributes at same time.
Okay.
Right. I think if description comma separated, we can give any number of attributes.
Mm.
That is enabled we have seen. By default, it is true. If you want disable,
Mm.
false. Suppose invocation found. Suppose I want to execute this test case multiple times.
Mm.
I want to execute the same test case 5 times.
Okay.
Invocation count means how many times I want. Suppose if I click this one,
Mm.
right? I have given right iteration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 times. Okay.
That's a data driven testing. If you want to do multiple, suppose I want to add multiple employees.
Mm.
Right, I want to do data driven testing. Test functionality is same. I want to do
Mm.
data is different.
Okay.
Right, then we can go for invocation count, and we have timeout also. Invocation. Suppose I want to get output within some seconds, some milliseconds, 10 milliseconds.
Mm.
Right, we can validate the maximum number of milliseconds, the total invocation. Right, if you are expecting, default will be 0. That means it will not validate anything. Suppose I want to get a response of this test case within 10 milliseconds.
10 milliseconds. Okay.
Seconds or milliseconds? Milliseconds. Milliseconds. Right. It will pass. Now it will execute very quickly. You will not get any. Suppose if I want to fail it, I want to stop execution. For 20 milliseconds, otherwise 11 milliseconds I am waiting. Right, if I run it, now it will happen, it will fail.
Okay.
Did not finish within 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay.
Right, by using invocation count, we can verify performance also.
Okay, so by adding this thread dot sleep after 11 seconds, it
will execute.
Okay.
Right, it will sleep for here 10, 11 seconds, then it will start execution.
Okay.
Right. But we can give only timeout. Right. Here combination of invocation count and invocation timeout. Here only this test case just have timeout. Right. There is no invocation. No? That was normally we can give timeout. Same way it will work. The maximum number of milliseconds that test should take. If it hasn't returned after this time, it will mark it as failed.
Okay.
Then depends on those methods. It depends on method. We'll see. Sometimes we want to execute one test case after executing its precondition. Suppose I have test cases like public void, launch URL. And then login. And then I have follow something users. Go to something related to users. Now then we'll add logout. Okay, fine. Right now just I will execute like this. Now what happened? Add user executed first. Alright, without launch URL. Alright, without launch URL itself it is executed. There is no meaning of executing add user first. I want to execute first add launch URL login, then like this.
Okay.
Then you may think we can give so for whatever we have done. We can give priorities.
Priority.
Right. Suppose if I give priority. Priority one. 3. Okay, now it's executed for launch URL login add user. Now the add user is failed. Something there is some issue and it got failed. The add user failed. Still it is executing delete user. Right. The issue with the priority is like it will not worry about dependent test case fail. Add user is failed. Without adding user, it is trying to delete the user. Right. It will, that is the issue with the priority.
Okay, add execute.
Right. Without adding, you cannot delete user, right? That means priority will not worry about checking the dependencies. That means if you add user, then only delete user, it will not worry about it. It will do whatever. Right. It will not. Then all test cases will fail. If you add user, then in real time, what will happen? Delete user. It will not find delete user. It will fail this test case. Unnecessarily, it will execute. Add user itself is failed. No need to execute further. Right. To avoid this one, we have there is a depends on methods. Suppose I want to execute login only when launch URL is success.
Okay.
Right. Then first remove these priorities. And no. I want first one, I don't record anything. For second one, login. Login depend on method launch.
Okay. Launch.
Login is depends on launch. That means it will execute. First, it will verify is there any depends method. Okay, it has. Okay, what method? Method name launch URL. It will execute first. Then it will execute to login. Again, add user depends on login.
Okay.
And then again delete user depends on add user. Right. Login is depends on logout is depends on login. Login, then only logout.
Okay.
Right. Like this, we can give. Suppose if I execute now.
Correct.
And now what will happen? Launch URL, login, add user is failed. Now it will skip the delete user. It will not execute this test case. Then logout will execute. Anyway, login is successful, logout is will execute.
Okay.
Right. By using depends on method, right, we can execute precondition. Suppose sometimes we will have a preconditions. Before executing this test case, I want to execute some other test case. Right, then we can use depends on method so that it will execute first depend method, then actual method. Okay, this is one of the attribute depends on methods. And here it will skip. If it is actual test case, depends method is failed, it will skip the original test case. Dependent test case itself is failed, it will not skip this original test cases.
So these are annotations, right?
Annotation attributes.
And assertion means?
These are all attributes of the annotation.
Annotations.
Like in class we have attributes, right? Similarly, annotation attributes. Right.
Okay.
In the class we have variables, right? Similarly, these are also annotation attributes. So in annotation they will write say default. There will be attribute depends on group. These are all methods.
Okay.
These methods we will have the attributes in the Annotation.
Okay. And assertion is different, right?
The assertion is like we are validating the actual and
We have to
expected
add at
values.
least one assertion in the each method. We have to add to execute the test.
Assertions are used to validate the output.
Okay, output. Assertion means output. Okay.
Validations, those are all. Yeah. These are all annotations, attributes.
Okay.
Suppose someone will come to bank test. Right. I am withdrawing, suppose 1,000. I have deposited 500, but withdrawing 1,000. Now what will happen? We have written code like exception. Available balance is less than withdraw amount. Right. It should throw exception. That is the one test case. Then it will not execute anyway. Here exception is occurred, it will not execute further. But my use case is it should throw exception. Then here we can attribute, we can write expected exception. That what we are expecting exception dot class. We have to do like this. We are expecting this exception.
Expected.
So now it will pass the test case. Right, withdraw will throw exception. And we can write like this also. Yes. One more attribute, expected exceptions. We can give what exception. Otherwise, if we don't throw exception, right, it will fail test case. Suppose I am giving withdraw 100, it will not throw any exception. In that case, it will fail because we are expecting exception.
Okay.
So it is like this is one functionality. If we give withdrawing more than amount, it should throw exception. Right. Okay, fine. Up to here, we'll see remaining groups. It will cover groups, data provider, groups, data provider wheels. Okay. But we'll see tomorrow. Then groups and data providers, parameters.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Okay, fine then. Just
Venkat, so daily you are sharing the recordings, right? So how many days it will valid, Venkat? So because download option is not available.
no, it will be available forever. I will give permission. That's not an issue. You can download.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes the download is showing and sometimes the download option is not visible.
I will provide access. Right, once the classes is done, I will upload all the projects and all. Then I will provide access. You can download it. It will be forever. It will be there. But anyway, I will not use the same Gmail account for next person is came. I will forget about this Gmail account actually.
Okay.
Right, you have to use it only. I will not regularly check. Right, you have to download it. I will give permissions. It will be better to download. Otherwise, maybe after some time, I will also not get access.
Okay.
After 1 year or
Okay.
something.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I will provide access. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Fine then. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, bye.